Hello friends. The gladiators of ancient Rome are as fearless and above all male fighters gone down in history. The great crowd of gladiators was above all slaves. Far more unknown is the fact that among the gladiators of ancient Rome were not just men but also women. The question arises why women also became gladiators? Some of the women weren't slaves either, but we have big money in the arenas fought. The female gladiators were no less in terms of combat skills qualified as their male colleagues. Today we look at 8 unknown facts about the female gladiators. Let's start with the video. Fact 1. The variety of fights. The organizers of the gladiator fights have the course of Roman history always strives make fights in the arenas varied and interesting. So there were always new themes, and especially gladiator genres and arenas shown. The history of gladiator fights in ancient Rome had about 600 years of history. Some gladiators have famous historical heroes, both male and female replayed. For example, well-known figures of antiquity in Greece, like Hercules, Archilia or Hector. Additionally were used by the Roman gladiators, also depicted characters related to the earlier period of the Roman Republic. These were figures like Hannibal. In addition, rematches were also introduced in the gladiator fights. The rematches arose that the audience, the defeated gladiator, spared or the fight was a draw. It's not uncommon, due to the variety of gladiator fights, female gladiators were also sent to the arenas. The primary entertainment value was erotic in nature, to entertain the male viewers even better. In addition, there was the entertainment value of violence. These two combinations were for entertainment the perfect mix. To the beginnings of female gladiator fights, the female gladiators have first against small stature or fight animals. These fights were at the start of an arena event to warm up the audience. A little later in the development of Roman gladiator fights, the female gladiators started fighting each other. Fact 2. Topless. The male gladiators have always fought with an unclothed torso. When the female gladiators first fought in the arenas, they wore skirts, had leg guards and a helmet. Above, the female gladiators mostly did not have any clothing like their male counterparts. The female gladiators were armed with the short sword gladius and the shield scutum. After winning a two-man fight, the gladiator removed her helmet, so that the audience could see her face. The gladiator then raised the sword to salute and greet the audience. Fact 3. The private fight lessons. Female gladiators were not allowed to attend gladiator schools. These were exclusive intended for the male gladiators. The female gladiators, who were not slaves, fought in arenas to earn large sums of money. The female gladiators tried to get a membership in the social club Juvenum. Budding gladiators didn't always get membership in the Juvenum Collegium. But that happened from time to time. There the female gladiators were taught martial arts. The life of a young woman in ancient Rome was always planned by her father. For example, if the father is deceased, and a young woman is the sole heir, the Roman law provided that the young woman find a mentor for training and have to get education. According to Roman law, this mentor should train the young woman in law, finance and politics. The law originated from the fact that at that time women were considered less educated and this field became. According to Roman law, a mentor also had to be appointed to guide the young woman in male jobs to be trained. Since there are no male descendants in the family, like brothers, the financial resources often allowed the young woman to find a teacher volunteered to teach martial arts. Fact 4. As a gladiator, get rich by fighting gladiators. Many highly educated and free Roman citizens chose to become gladiators. The motives and motivations for these Roman citizens were First, the fame of the public at a victory, and second, the large sums of money that a gladiator received as a fee for his victory. These motives have also applied to the female gender. In fact, the vast majority of female gladiators were free young women who voluntarily fought in the arenas. That was the only way in ancient Rome to become famous among the general population. If the gladiator won the fight in the arena, she became financially independent. Because of the financial independence, the young woman no longer had to follow the rules of the mentor, of the husband, brother or father. Fact 5. Marriage. The male gladiators who have earned their freedom through their victories lived a simple life with their families after their gladiator career. If these men were enslaved prisoners of war of Rome, these returned in your homeland back. As for the female gladiators, they were considered a disgrace to your family. The female gladiators were socially recognized only with difficulty and no longer had a reputation to be available to the marital market. Since the female gladiators fought with an unclothed torso, had this one social status like striptease dancers or circus acrobats. Regardless of gender, gladiators were considered a commodity, which one bought to be even better entertained. In ancient Rome, women got married at a fairly young age. If the young woman came from a wealthy family, her father planned her wedding. Many marriages were contracted for political or economic benefit only. If a woman betrayed her husband, the couple divorced. According to Roman law, women were no longer allowed to remarry. If the young woman was rejected by her father, it was usually her destiny to live in poverty. Since there are almost no sources on the lives of female gladiators, one can assume that a young woman became a gladiator because she had a failed marriage and was on the black marriage list. Fact 6. The Amazon and the Archilia. A stone tablet, dating back to ancient Rome, has been unearthed in what is now Turkey. 2 female gladiators are depicted on this stone tablet. These 2 gladiators were named Amazon and Archilia. It probably wasn't a real name, just a stage name, which the great mass of gladiators also had. Little is known today about the life of the Amazon and Archilia. What is known by lore is that these 2 female gladiators both fought equally well and it ended in a draw. Both opponents have received their gladiator fee. The name Archilia is the female interpretation of the Greek hero Achilles. Outside of the legend of Troy, there is another legend involving Achilles. In a duel he kills a warrior named Penthesilea. This warrior is an Amazon. It's only after Achilles kills her that he sees how beautiful she actually was, and in deepest repentance saw in his mind future life with Penthesilea. The gladiator fight between the Amazon and Archilia is a Roman interpretation of this legend. These 2 female gladiators were among the Roman citizens so famous that many in your household have stone tiles had as souvenirs. The found stone plate is the only known of its kind, although there had been more such flagstones. Fact 7. A female gladiator was buried with full honors. In 2000, archaeologists found a woman's grave at an amphitheater near present-day London. Investigations revealed that the young woman was 25 to 30 years old. According to the bone reports, this woman died of natural causes, so not by an injury or a disease. In addition, many decorative elements were discovered in the tomb. In addition, remains of food were found by the archaeologists, which come from a funeral service. This burial differed in manner from the other burials in ancient Roman times. These facts led the researchers to conclude that it was a grave of a gladiator would have to act. According to Roman law, dead gladiators were forbidden to be buried in a public cemetery to bury. But the fact that this called female gladiator, which with all the ornaments nearby of an amphitheater, leads one to conclude that it is a very famous one and gladiator loved by the audience. Fact 8. The antique souvenirs. Gladiator fights were the favorite leisure activities among the citizens of ancient Rome. Every citizen throughout the Roman Empire was drawn to these games. As with today's sports, there was a whole fan base for a certain gladiator. This fan community is feverish with every fight with, and assisted the Gladiator in battle as much as it could. Because of this, there were numerous souvenir shops located within the arena. The fans could buy various articles of their favorite Gladiator. Almost everyone in the fan club wanted to grab a souvenir to take home. I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please leave a subscription and a thumbs up. See you soon. Your channel History Best.